Ladies and gentlemen, the newest season of Destiny 2 is now upon us. Only a few minutes ago, Bungie ended up posting the newest trailer for Season of the Splicer, and in today's video, we're going to be going over this trailer as well as everything that we know about Season 14 thus far. We're going to be covering the story content, the new seasonal activity and weekly missions, the new weapons, armor, the upgrades coming to the Helm, the new raid, or old raid, Transmog, as well as the seasonal roadmap, and everything in between in today's video. If you guys do happen to like my content or Destiny 2 content in general, definitely feel free to subscribe because I cover it all the time here on the channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer. Timestamp on the screen if you guys want to skip past it, and timestamps down below if you want to go to specific information in the video. But let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer.
This morning, for the first time in humanity's long and storied history, the sun did not rise. It's a Vex simulation that has plunged the city into an endless night. Osiris and I could only think of one we might turn to. Mithrax. He claims to be among the last sacred splicers. Those with the power to commune with machines. Find him, Guardian. Before the Vex do.
We must splice an entrance to the Vex network. I can guide you, but I cannot follow. Once inside, you must find your own way. And prepare for battle.
So there you have it. That is the trailer for Season of the Splicer. Now let's go ahead and go over everything that we know about the season thus far, not only from the information that we got in the trailer, but also the information that we're getting from Bungie.net via their seasons page on the website. So first things first, what is the story? Well, first of all, Ikora is finally back in the story, which, might I add, is finally something that Destiny's been missing for a while, okay? One of the main Vanguard that's basically not said a word in like over a year. It's pretty nice to see her back. But the main story that we're seeing with this season is that actually it seems like the Vex have put the last city on Earth into a simulation. And the only way that we know out of the simulation is via Mithrax, which is an ally that none of us expected to be working with until now. And basically because he is a splicer, he possesses the knowledge to be able to combat the Vex technology and make sure that we can basically get ourselves out of the situation. And this is why the season is called Season of the Splicer. It's basically completely around Mithrax and his elixir that he leads and everything in between. Now, what exactly is the seasonal activity looking like for this season? Well, honestly, this is something that a lot of people, including myself, have been asking for a while. A 6-player match-made activity, and this one's going to be called Override. Basically what it says is that fire teams of 6 will use Splicer tech to hack the Vex network, uncover their secrets, steal their code, and use their power against them. From the looks of it, we will be entering into this activity via areas that we've already been, like the Moon, Tangled Shore, etc. But once we finally make our way into the Vex network, it's a completely kind of new area that we haven't seen before. I guess you could say on the same level of something like Menagerie, right? Basically what we had with Battlegrounds and a lot of other seasonal activities, is that we've basically been fighting in the same areas that we otherwise, have already been in, kind of in destination areas and in patrol with slight differences. But from the looks of this, Override looks to be something completely new once you do make it into the Vex network. And of course, it being a 6-player match-made activity is great. I do hope, though, that they have a harder difficulty version similar to Menagerie that doesn't have matchmaking, so that you can go in with a, full group of people and maybe get some exclusive rewards. I would definitely like to see that from something like a seasonal activity. And of course, we also got a weekly pinnacle mission known as Expunge. Now, from the looks of it, this is going to function similarly to Presage in Season of the Chosen. What it says is that each week, Guardians will uncover new vulnerabilities within the Vex network and use Splicer keys to infiltrate and collapse it from within. Now, the way that Presage works is that you can actually go every single week and get a new captain's log every single time that you play it. And this has been apparent, since the first day that Presage came out. You've been able to play it weekly and uncover new voice lines and new areas, yada yada. And from the looks of it, Bungie is going to be continuing, this kind of theme where Expunged is going to be one of those missions that you at least play once every week, if not for the pinnacle reward, then for the progression through the story and the seasonal content. So that is the new seasonal activity as well as the seasonal mission. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the weapons. First things first, let's go ahead and take a look at one that I know a lot of you guys were curious about, the exotic Stasis Sidearm. It says, as a token of friendship, Mithrax bestows Guardians with a Cryosthesia 77K, a stasis-powered sidearm with liquid cooling tech. And I can already tell you, man, this thing looks like it's gonna piss people off inside of PvP. From the looks of it, you can actually freeze your enemies with the alternate fire of this weapon, which is pretty cool for PvE. For PvP, God only knows what's going to happen in that wasteland. So really cool exotic that we see here. Of course, we also have some regular seasonal legendary weapons. And let me go ahead and say, man, it looks like a lot of love and care went into these weapons. These things look badass. If I had to guess what they are, of course the top right's a sidearm, the top left perhaps a grenade launcher, and in the bottom and the right side probably pulse, scout rifle, auto rifle, any of those. We also have two other weapons that we know exist via the season pass. At level 45 you were able to get the shotgun, and at level 30 you were able to get the machine gun. So taking a look at all these weapons, we're looking at least 6 new Splicer Fallen themed weapons, and I gotta say, man, absolutely love the aesthetic of these weapons. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the new seasonal armor, the actual universal ornaments, and right here, you can see exactly what these look like. Now, as far as I know, and as far as I could see, I could not find any actual regular legendary armor. From the looks of it, Bungie's only showing us the seasonal ornaments. Now, is Bungie removing regular legendary seasonal armor for now because of Transmog and basically letting us only be able to get universal ornaments season after season? I have no idea, but I have not seen any actual regular legendary variants of this armor. This is the universal ornament armor specifically, which you're going to be getting from the season pass. Now, aside from that, we are getting 3 new exotics, and every single one of them is a boot armor piece. So for hunters, we have the Star Eater Scales, and it says it allows hunters to feast upon orbs of power, charging their super more quickly and making it more potent. Perhaps you could put this on, be able to charge your super quicker, and then make any of your supers deal more damage. Sounds very interesting. I'm sure there would be some pretty cool builds made with that. Of course, we have the Path of Burning Steps from the Titans, and it says this is Titan armor that converts solar eliminations into increased weapon damage and makes them more difficult to lock down with stasis. So, for any of my Igneous Hammer mains out there, you might find yourself using this a lot in PvP. We'll just have to wait and see on how that works, and makes them more difficult to lock down with stasis. That could honestly be a quality of life improvement that you could put across the entire game. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy here, but being more difficult to lock down with stasis, I'd prefer that on all classes all the time. Now lastly, we have Boots of the Assembler from the Warlock, and it says it condenses the Warlock Rift's healing or empowering energy into projectiles that seek out their allies to bless them with the benefit. So if you put down, oh my god, this is going to be overpowered. If you put down an empowering rift, let's say in PvP, your entire team is using 120 hand cannons, basically it'll seek out your allies, bless them with that empowering power, and allow them to get 2-tap potential with 120s in the Crucible. My god, this sounds extremely overpowered, but who knows? we'll see it when we get there. Now, lastly, for any armor-related stuff, we have the seasonal artifact. This is called the Splicer Gauntlet, and of course, this is what it looks like. Last season, we had the hammer approving. This season, we have a Splicer Gauntlet. Now, moving on from that, we have some upgrades to the Helm. The Helm is further solidifying itself in Destiny as a proper location, and Bungie is building upon it this season. They say HELM Upgrade.exe. A new chamber overlooking the loading bay has been completed. It is here that the Vanguard will harness new Splicer tech and plan their response to the Vex incursion. Now, let me go ahead and say, this is cool, and I'm glad that it's following the whole seasonal, model and stuff, and making things feel like an ever-growing world, upgrades are being made, blah, 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 but please, can the Vanguard please add a firing range to the Helm? You're already in first person. You can do a glitch where you can use supers and shoot your guns. Can we please just get a firing range like we had with the Leviathan? I would greatly appreciate it. Bungie, or the Vanguard, whoever I'm talking to, just give us shooting range. Thank you. Now, moving on from there, we have some raid information. Of course, this is going to pertain to the Vault of Glass. The Vault of Glass is free to all players. If you're a free-to-play player, raids are back on the menu for you, my friend. Vault of Glass, the time-lost raid returns. Stored away deep in the Vault of Glass is Atheon on Venus. Atheon is time's conflux. No one knows what this Vex is. Guardians must access the vault, navigate the fractures in space and time, and terminate Atheon before it can become an unstoppable threat. Now, whenever it says no one knows what this Vex is, I'm assuming that it's trying to say, like, story-wise, oh, we've never seen Atheon before. I don't know. I don't know if Bungie's, like, actually tying this into the story, kind of making this, like, a first-ever time thing, or if we genuinely don't know who Atheon is, and we're gonna go in the raid, and it's gonna be a completely different Atheon, completely upgraded or something. I don't know. I doubt it. But, I just thought that was kind of funky word in there. Of course, as it also pertains to Vault of Glass, this is from the roadmap, and we will be getting into the roadmap very soon, but it says on July 6th, Solstice of Heroes is going to begin, and Vault of Glass difficulty options will become available. Will we be seeing the normal mode version of Vault of Glass on the Day 1 raid in a hard mode as time goes on? Is hard mode going to be added to Vault of Glass and not just be a regular part of it whenever it launches? It seems like we might be getting some hard mode raid action from the looks of it. So this is really cool. Hopefully maybe this sets the standard for raids coming in the future, or they're only doing this because it used to have a hard mode and they're trying to make it, very similar to the way that, Destiny 1 was. But I thought this was interesting, so I figured I'd mention it. Now, moving on from there, of course, we have our Transmog information. It says, grow your collection among the stars and forge your look in the last city. Every journey and every Guardian is unique. Your armor should be too. They say, help 801. Guardians will recover Braytech secrets from Europa that allow the building of a device known as the Loom. Once operational, 801 will safeguard the loom within the tower, granting Guardians the ability to create Synthweave, or you could just buy it from the Eververse. Synthweave unlocks the power to turn almost any piece of armor into a universal ornament. So pretty much the stuff that we already knew. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the roadmap for this season. We got a lot of interesting stuff here. Starting off May 11th, we're going to get the new intro mission to the season, Armor Synthesis, and the Endless Night will begin. Of course, that is the last city being put into a simulation. Now we get new Stasis aspect quest for, kind of all your Beyond Light people. By the way, earlier in the trailer, there was actually seen a Titan using a ice javelin. So maybe that has to do with the new Stasis aspects. I don't know, very interesting. And of course, we also get the Override Europa, and this is going to require Season of the Splicer. Now, of course, Override being the 6-player match-made activity, these will be taking place on different areas like Europa, Tangled Shore, the Moon, etc. So for the first one, it'll be happening on Europa. Now, May 14th, Trials of Osiris begins. I don't think there's going to be any difference between Trials of Osiris this season and last season. May 18th, we're getting our first Iron Banner, as well as Override the Moon. On May 22nd, we're getting the Vault of Glass. May 25th, the weekly Pinnacle mission, as well as Override Tangled Shore. For June the 1st, the weekly Pinnacle mission will be, I guess, available for everyone. I don't know why it mentions it twice. Then we go to June the 8th. Oh, no, I see what they're doing. We're getting Iron Banner and the weekly Pinnacle mission again. I think this is just them showing, you know, the difference between each week. There will be a difference in this mission every time that you play. For June 15th, we're also getting Vault of Glass raid challenges. And of course, the weekly Pinnacle mission again. June 22nd, more weekly Pinnacle mission stuff. June 29th, Iron Banner again. July 6th, we're getting Solstice of Heroes and Vault of Glass difficulty options. And August the 3rd, Solstice will end. And August the 10th, we're getting the epilogue. So very interesting stuff right there from the roadmap. Now, what exactly do I feel about this season? How exactly do I feel about the season? We went ahead and, you know, went over the trailer and kind of did a mini breakdown of all the information that we know. What exactly do I think about this trailer, as if anyone cares? Now, I think this trailer is really awesome, okay? I think the whole aesthetic is very nice. I love the story that they're doing, a 6-player match-made activity, a weekly mission that we can play, Vault of Glass coming back, difficulty options, raid challenges, you know, everything in between. A lot of that's really cool. By the way, speaking of Vault of Glass, something that I didn't mention, we actually do have the name of the Vault of Glass title confirmed, and it's actually called Fate Breaker. This comes from the Bungie Rewards website. So Fate Breaker is going to be a sick title to earn whenever this season comes out. But, you know, what do I think of the season? I think it's cool. Okay, I like the aesthetic. I love the story. 6-player match-made activity for the seasonal, you know, activity is awesome. A weekly mission that we can play on the same level of prestige is great. The weapons look awesome. The armor looks sick. And, you know, Solstice of Heroes is coming. I really hope the Solstice armor looks good. It almost always does. But I do have to say this, okay? For as awesome as this trailer is, it is so saddening that there isn't a single thing about PvP mentioned in this trailer. It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's embarrassing. Okay, now I consider myself a PvE player first and a PvP player second. So I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not a PvP player at heart for this game. But PvP is something that I like to play when I'm done with the PvE content. Season of the Chosen, I played PvP for the last 3 weeks straight because I've already done everything. I gilded Conqueror, you know, I did everything there was to do, all right? The fact that there wasn't anything PvP related in this trailer, and the only thing that came from this trailer was worries about how things are going to affect PvP, is pretty damn sad. Now, of course, we do know that Iron Banner is getting 4 quote-unquote new weapons, 2 of which are quote-unquote new. The other 2 are completely new, but damn, Bungie, you have an entire player base that loves the PvP. Why don't you show it some damn love? You know, I mean, what you have here is fantastic. It's great, and I love it. But my God, is it an embarrassment to see the way that you're treating PvP season after season after season. You need to go out there in a TWAB or just in a blog post or something like that and publicly acknowledge the fact of how you're treating PvP and how you're treating this player base. You need to let them know, hey, we got some stuff in the works for you, just be patient. You know, we got, you know, Rift coming back, we got some new game modes, we got a competitive rework, you know, we got some new maps and everything in between. Like, you gotta do something, or just let us know that that's not coming so that we don't need to keep our hopes up and that you want to continue making this game PvE centered, with PvP being something that you do when you're bored. But I'll go ahead and tell you guys this. Back whenever the Taken King DLC came out, you know, that DLC added like, what, 9 Crucible maps? And those 9 Crucible maps pretty much carried my enjoyment for Destiny for a very, very long time. The Taken King had about like a 6 to 8 month content drought after it dropped in Destiny 1. And the only reason I kept playing almost every single day during that content drought was because of the new Crucible maps and the new toys that they gave me in the DLC to use on those Crucible maps. Crucible is an integral part of the game, Bungie, and you need to treat it that way. What you showed today was fantastic, but the PvP community, very soon they're going to get tired of it, man, and a lot of people are going to be leaving this game, and we all know that we don't want that to happen. This game's absolutely fantastic, and it has the potential to be great in both PvE and PvP. But guys, that is it for this video. That is a little bit of a rant that I wanted to put at the end of this video as well, because I feel like a lot of that is going to go overlooked because of the hype of the new content. But guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.